Hi and welcome to my mini-series on how to use Adobe XD. In this first video, I'm going to show you how to set up a brand new project in XD. Okay, so when you first open XD, this is what will present itself. Now, it's worth noting down here that under the UI kit heading, there are a number of UI kits that you can use for a quick start with some projects. They are fantastic and very, very worth looking at. But today we're going to be using the iPhone templates. We're just going to go ahead and hit that and it will come up with the sizing automatically, which is a really nice quick start for an iPhone project. Now, if you've never used XD before, then some of this Chrome might feel a little unfamiliar to you. Don't worry, we will be going through all of it as we go through this mini course. Just some things that I want to point out to you. From the off though, down the left hand side you'll see some familiar tools. If you're already used to using the Adobe suite of other apps, you'll be used to some of these tools. Down here we have the Artboard and Asset section. Over here, this will probably feel quite familiar to you as well, where you can change the width and height of things, a Boolean shape section. And then up here we have some tools that are to do with prototyping, which we'll come on to later. This is the magic button, Repeat Grid. There is a lot of power harnessed in that tiny, tiny button. But for now, probably the thing you're going to want to do first is create some artboards. So let's go ahead and do that. Now you can do that by pressing Command D to duplicate the artboard we've already created, or you can just right click and duplicate those artboards. Now, I like to get into the habit of naming my artboards quite quickly, and you'll understand why a little bit later when it comes to prototyping. So I'm going to call that login screen password hint. So there we have 3 identical sized artboards. Now, if you wanted to change the size of that artboard, you can just simply select the artboard and use these handles to change the size of that main artboard. If you want to move those artboards around, all you have to do is simply select the artboard and you can click anywhere to move that around. Now, what I think is really nice is this spacer tip that comes up to tell you that you're actually using the same spacing between each of these artboards. It keeps things really, really nice and neat. Now, if you are someone who likes to work to a grid in your designs, then you can select any artboard, head over here on the right hand side and turn a grid on. Now, layout would be great if you were using it for web design, but we're going to go ahead and change that to a square because this is for mobile design. And personally, I like to take this down to 5 because I like to work in spacing of 10 when I'm doing mobile design. And sometimes I don't work to a grid. If you don't like to work to a grid, that's absolutely fine as well. You can go ahead and turn that off. I didn't actually use a grid for my Sky UI kit that I did for Adobe XD. However, with some projects, I like to adhere to a very strict grid. So that is how you would switch that on. And then we will go through some of the other great features of XD in the next video.